Is going on YouTube? Welcome to the show. It's Brendan from Market Makers. Guys, we're going to talk about Bitcoin today, talk about the DXY, briefly show you the markets, and as a reminder, a courtesy reminder, a PSA, a public service announcement, the CPI comes out Wednesday, guys. The market direction. I would hate to say this, but it's very true. The market direction, this could be the most important CPI to date, which it is. The markets are all places where they've rallied to the previous week. Bitcoin's holding that key support of the 20K. This will determine if this comes in hot, meaning high inflation, higher than 8.6, maybe even if it is 8.6, you could see a nosedive to a new low. You could see a sell-off. Inflation comes in lower, you could see a continuation of the rally defeating key support. Wanted to show you guys the DXY because the DXY is pumping today, okay? It's at 108.233. It is parabolic. This is the .com crash. We went over this a little bit yesterday as well, but here's your run-up of the US dollar. You see this run-up? Now, the .com crash took about 2 years to completely play out, but this is money inflows going into the US dollar. The DXY is a US dollar measured against a basket of currencies, okay? Now, in the environment we were in then is different than the environment now. Now we have worldwide inflation. You have the US dollar gaining parabolic strength. You have to remember, for global trade, this is great for Americans. If you guys are traveling, especially to company or countries with weak currency, you have a lot of purchasing power. This is very bad if you're in one of those countries with weak currency, because now all the US goods that are imported are more expensive. Therefore, the companies will sell less of them. Therefore, their sales numbers will be down. Again, it impacts profits, and then you start looking at hiring freezes, layoffs, the economic tightening that's happening, quantitative tightening that's happening. Again, just a stew of bad news for the economy. Trading, most likely already in a recession, and we'll get that number, the Q2 GDP, at the end of this month. But this is a cycle the US dollar follows, okay? When you have the dollar getting inflows into it, it strengthens. You can see this. We got all the way up to just above 120. You fast forward this to current times. We're already at 108. Let me go ahead and pull this over. We broke through this channel. We talked about this in yesterday's video, and we just spiked up. Look at this spike up today. We just spiked up, moving even higher in the channel. And guys, you got to understand, I mean, this is why people used to say, when I first came to crypto, last May of 2021, people say, oh, the inverse relationship with the dollar and Bitcoin. It's not just with the dollar, it's with equities. It's with any asset. A super strong dollar is very harmful to these other asset classes, such as equities and crypto, okay? Because that's where the money is getting poured into, is into dollars. And look at this pump up today. We're trading at 108.229. And just remember, looking here back, got to go back to November, okay? November, where are we at? November 21, right here. So right in this range right here, September, October, November, right in this range, the Bitcoin, the Russell, and the NASDAQ all made their all-time highs when the dollar was right here. Look what the dollar has done since then. Over and over again, reaccumulation, just going up higher and higher. That's why the equities are not done falling yet, okay? Everybody thinks this could be a bottom. I saw people today on CNBC. This looks like the market bottom. The market already priced in a recession. The market already priced in a future downgrade of earnings. Yeah, I don't think any of that's true. The market hasn't priced in any of that. This is the first leg as the dollar continues to rise. And of course, this channel, for the scan channel, basically gets you up to 124. 124 spot 300. We'll see how long this takes, guys. But, with the Fed tightening interest, or Fed doing quantitative tightening and raising interest rates, you're going to see the dollar strengthen, especially in a relative basis to other currencies around the world, especially with these currencies that haven't raised interest rates in a very, very long time, and they're lagging us, such as the euro. The US dollar and a euro are about to have parity. This is the highest the US dollar has been against the euro in 20 years. They're about to be even, okay? So that's a very fascinating event. The Eurozone is is just looking to raise interest rates. I believe they're at negative interest rates for the first time in 11 years. So they're looking to raise interest rates, and they're not going to be that aggressive. They're going to go with a 50 basis point raise. So again, this is going to affect a lot of global economies. I'm going to start keeping track too. I'm going to add like the stocks 50 into our equities charts. I'll do that starting tomorrow, so we can look at some of the big stocks in Europe as well, because I know we got a lot of international viewers. Guys, let's go ahead and jump to Bitcoin on the daily. So on the daily, we talked about this on the 4-hour and 8-hour yesterday. If we look at this, what are you guys printing here? You see this? Printing that nice classic double top, okay? So that CPI coming in Wednesday, guys, is going to be key. If we can hold this GAN support line, this GAN fan, if we do not, we're coming down to test our neckline, that one fib around 19,227. Neckline could just be slightly below there, but we're coming down to test that if that CPI comes in hot. And if we do lose this, guys, doing a fib wave projection, I'll show you guys how I measured this. If we do a fib wave projection, we get rid of this drawing. There we go. And I like to take it here from the first peak of the double top down to that swing low, up to the second peak of the double top. And you can see your neckline roughly at 19,227, but the 1618 of keen interest to me, 17,211, which would be a new low in this market dissension. And if that doesn't hold, you're coming down lower. Okay. And I start looking at my GAN supports, my different areas of support. And, you know, if we did a measured move here, I went ahead and drew this out, as you can see from the neckline to the base, to the two peaks, and we pull this down somewhere. This is uneven down here, so we just pick a spot. This would get you down to 15,830. Okay, if this double top broke out this neckline. So again, a new low in the marketplace. And again, you know, guys, like I've said before, the equities to me just made their first leg down. They're going to rally at some point. I do expect that rally to be based off their weekly 200. That will be a big rally when they kiss that. But Bitcoin and the Russell are both below their weekly 200. Okay, so it's just something to watch. This is a much smaller market cap now than this was even 6 months ago here in the crypto market. You lost 2/3 of the money in the market. So this is where we're at now. We got to be realistic. Volume is pretty low. Again, we're still overbought here. So we're rolling down here. We're trying to see if we can hold this key support level. Don't want to come back into this range. We want to get our cup, get our pivot right here, and try to make a move up. Going into the 8-hour time frame. Once again, you can still see the double top. You just have the first part of your M. This can roll back up, obviously, come back down again, and this is what it would look like, okay? Or we could end up holding the base here and looking to move up, right? So that's what you want to see, is bouncing off this 618 at 20,162, staying above that key psychological number of 20,162. Be very, very important. Let's go ahead and look at the 4 hours. This is where all the action is. 4-hour, 200, 233. We haven't contacted it yet. And all of this accumulation down here, we haven't contacted it yet. We're falling down to our Kumo cloud here for support. But this is a bad place to fall, guys. You guys know I like to point these out. The very narrow Kumo twist areas in these clouds. This is very weak support, okay? You can easily fall through here. Then this becomes resistance, cloud trading. So you have to be very careful here. You want to bounce off this cloud, hold this area, climb back up it, but your 200 and your 233 will be descending. And again, this will follow tech, okay? This will follow tech. And if tech sells off because of a hot CPI, Bitcoin's going to sell off too. So guys, if you want to see these types of trades when they do come to fruition, definitely click the join button underneath this video. Come check out our Discord, and the Telegram link is in the video description as well if you just want trade signals. Now let's go ahead and look at a couple other things here. Let's go ahead and turn this off on the 4-hour. Get rid of that Ichi. And let me see, what do we want to look at here? Oh, I want to look at the, not the Nubia, the, where is it? Zigzag. There we go. Look at the Danshin. So falling back down to our base here, the Danshin has us potentially going to 20,084 here if we keep this current trend. And of course, the lower level of this base is 18,899, basically retesting this bottom, okay? So we just entered this new GANFAN channel. So you could see this retest, but you do have some nice fib support here as well because of these clusters of candles that you've been in this trading range. So this will be interesting to see if we do bounce back up. I want to see an impact. Where I'm looking to trade, guys, is when we impact the 200 and 233. When we get impacts here, this is where I like to trade. I like to trade at extremes, okay? I like to trade at the base level of support or at the peak of resistance, okay? I don't want to trade in the middle here just guessing which way it's going. I want to see an impact. I want to see patterns emerge. I want to see what kind of candle patterns we have. And obviously you do have the ability here for this double top if you come back up and come back down. So all this plays into that. And let's go ahead and look at, well, let's go ahead and look at the equities now. Go ahead and pull this down. Oh, my recording thing's in the way. There we go. All right, so let's jump over to the S&P really quickly. S&P, broader market on the daily. Once again, we're at key support. You see the GAN 45 here. Guys, if you want to trade these equities markets, definitely check out SimpleFX. That is in the video description as well. They give you a $5,000 bonus instantly, up to a $5,000 bonus to trade these markets. So you can see we're resting on our 45 angle for support. But just like everything, what we keep talking about, you have the basis of a double top, okay? Double top is euphoria breaking out. You get the sell-off, and you get euphoria again, and then it doesn't hold and you break down, okay? This is all a double top is in the marketplace. A pattern that repeats over and over. Here on the daily, you can see the volume is still very low. We've had multiple volume divergent rallies, which is why you keep printing double tops and selling off. Again, this is kind of a holding pattern, waiting, just waiting to see what happens with the CPI. Because on the 4 hour on the S&P, we had 2 rejections on the 200, 233, holding that 45 on the 4 hour as well. Want to see if we start coming back up and get one more attempt at this, okay? Get some nice double top like that. Get one more attempt at this. And if we're bullish, if that CPI is low, I would expect us to flip it. I honestly don't know what the CPI is going to be, guys. Energy prices were really high last month, so I have no idea what that CPI is going to be, but I would expect it's still hot. But to me, hot is above 8%. I mean, anything above 8% is crazy high. So, but to the market, like I said, 8.3, 8.4 may be a big rally, even though 8.6 is what we got, which is the highest so far. So we shall see what that is. But the story is the same on most of these indexes. Looking at the NASDAQ on the daily, again, the NASDAQ was outperforming, but the NASDAQ, just like the other indexes, likes to print double tops, okay? Over and over again, you get double tops in the range, and this happens over and over, especially when you have volume divergent rallies. Look at this. Price rise, no volume behind the move. Money flow is getting near overbought, not there yet, so we can still see a move up. This is the daily time frame. Going to NASDAQ on the 4 hour. Look at that, the progress the NASDAQ made, guys. Remember I told you got up above it. You got up above it, and you just printed a double top anyways, okay? You couldn't hold the 200, 233. Again, key thing of understanding how to trade a bear market. Your 200, 233, these are your 6 months of trading data, okay? Price trades below, price trades above. This is your average, and you have a very difficult time holding this in a bear market. 4 hour time frame is very important to watch rallies when they get up to these levels. You guys know I don't really like to use moving averages, but I use the 200 and the 233, especially in a descending marketplace, because it helps you find these fantastic trades over and over again in the market. So we did fall. We broke our double top, trying to hold this 45 here. Like I said, I expect chop. I would not at all be surprised if all of these indexes, including Bitcoin, come up again to test this moving average. And the day of the CPI, we could see a whipsaw. If that number comes in the same, I mean, I don't know what to expect. You could have a rally, the market rally and then dump, or vice versa. So it's going to be really, really interesting. I would suggest you just buckle up and get ready to trade. Okay. Now let's look at the Russell really quickly as well. Russell on the daily, again, this is redundant, but they're all doing the same thing. Double top printing, right? Russell on the 4 hour. This is a trade that I posted in our Telegram and in our Discord. We did get below the 618. So this is a very successful trade here. And this was based off my chameleon vibration pattern, as well as the 200 and 233, which you see that the Russell just flicked its price up there and got rejected. And the Russell, of course, has a lot of garbage zombie companies. So the Russell is always fun to trade, especially in a short. So we did fall below here, but just like everything else, you could see the Russell come back up. I would love to see it come back up because once again, just another trading opportunity in a descending macro market. It's so much fun to short, guys. All right, guys, that's your video today. And definitely check out BITGET as well, our other sponsor. Forgot to mention them because we have a tournament ongoing. I got to give you guys those updates of who's winning as well. So I'll do that tomorrow. I didn't get a chance to get it today. And we'll talk tomorrow, guys. Have a fantastic day, everybody.